Hello guys, I spent a month in Montenegro. Original name is Tsarnagora, which translates as Black Mountain. I have no idea why in English it's called Montenegro, probably because of some connections with Italy before, you know. But anyway, in this video I'm gonna tell you the things which shocked me the most in Montenegro, Chernogora, Black Mountain. Let's go! So one of the things which shocked me is mobile internet in Chernogora, Montenegro. You know, I've never been in a country where they would sell 1 terabyte of mobile internet for a month.
And yes, you see, I bought this SIM card. It's crazy. They have 1 terabyte of internet for 20 euros for 30 days, or 500 gigabytes for 15 days.
And you know what, I didn't spend 1 terabyte of internet, but I spent quite a lot of internet, maybe 100 gigabytes, 150 gigabytes, and mobile internet was very fast, very good connection. You know, in Russia, few years ago we had unlimited internet, but usually it's with some, you know, tricks. They say it's unlimited, but then like maybe with some small letters it would say like, okay, if you spend 50 gigabyte or 100 gigabyte of internet, you know, it will be slowed down like to some. So it's unlimited, but you know, it will be very slow speed. So we had one honest unlimited company in Russia, but it's all stopped, you know. But I've never seen 1000 terabyte of internet. It's crazy, guys, and seems like it's honest 1000 terabytes. Tell me, guys from Montenegro, if it's true or not, if you ever spent such amount. Another thing, guys, is Polako. When I was in Bosnia, I already felt some Polako, but some Bosnians told me you have to go to Montenegro to experience like triple or even four times Polako, you know, and I felt it. But you know what, Polako actually not a bad thing, you know. They still do everything, but just different way, as I explained already. And service is amazing in Montenegro, you know. In restaurants they immediately come to you, and so on and so on. But it's just the way of like enjoying your life and working, you know. And I saw in Montenegro the giant Polako bench, guys. I've never seen such big Polako bench, you know. So guys, you know the famous Polako thing in the Balkans, but you see what I found? Mega ultra big bench for triple Polako. Oh my god, it's so hot, вруче. So if you want to have triple Polako, come to Montenegro, guys. Yeah, guys, you see this is a standard size Polako benches, but this is like triple Polako size bench. So Polako has pros and cons, guys. Pros, it's like, for example, when you come to a new guest house or hotel, you know, usually in Montenegro it's like guest houses. So the owners, the hosts, they don't care about money first, you know. They trust you with the money, which you won't see in many other countries, you know. In Russia, for example, it's always money first, you know. But at the same time, when you pay this money, you are kind of relaxed. Okay, I paid this money, I can stay here. But in Montenegro, they will give you coffee as a like greeting, you know. Then they give you rakia. The best.
Oh, no kafa. Kakao. Very good. За здравие.
Добродушно.
Дудка моя.
Wow, guys, and now they gave me this krushka, maybe it's grusha, pir, rakia. I wonder how many percent. For a hungry stomach, we'll see how it works. And they will have nice talk to you, and they are maybe even shy to ask you for the money, you know. So you need to ask yourself, okay, can I finally pay for my stay, you know, because we already talk like 40 minutes and so on. But it's a nice talk, you have nice talk, you have coffee and some treats, you know, it's just different culture. I think they just even shy to ask for the money, even though they give you like the place to live for the money, you know, but it's like culture like that. Yes, and I experienced it in few hotels, you know, few guest houses. It's not just one time, but it's like local tradition, culture, I believe. But I would love something in the middle, to be honest, you know, because sometimes it's like too much добродушие, you know, гостолюбивость, you know. So I want something in the middle, maybe. Oh, thank you very much for coffee, nice talk, but yeah. Guys, to add about POLAKO, for example, I was eating in some small like family place, like food place, you know, and in the daytime, like you won't see many people on the streets of Montenegro working or something, but then it was like around 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. and then, like, you know, some maybe son of the family drives with the car, full car of kids, no, teenagers, and they all start unpacking like food, like bottles, drinks, you know. So in other countries or in Russia, for example, usually it's done like in the daytime or in the morning, but in Montenegro it's like 24 hours working. So sometimes you would think, wow, they are kind of slow maybe, you know, but no, they just do stuff when you don't do stuff, you know. When you sleep, they do stuff, and when you, no, it's Polako, guys, you have to feel it, you have to come there. So there, so yes, it's just different time zone maybe, you know, even something like that. Yes, but Polako, you know, we need to learn Polakology, University of Polakology. Maybe the experts will tell you more. I am just learning this culture, but I already fall in love with it. Yeah, by the way, Polakology, it's one of my subscribers made a joke like that, so I stole this joke. Hope he is okay with it. And yeah, guys, in Montenegro it's the same stuff. The provinces, in my opinion, the small towns look much better and cuter than the big cities or even the capital Podgorica. You know, I was in Podgorica and it's a nice city, guys, no offense, but it's like in Montenegro it's the same. Maybe it's in all of Balkan countries like that, or former Yugoslavia, you know, because in Bosnia it was the same, in my opinion, guys. In my small towns looked nicer, cleaner, very clean. You know, I think maybe because people live in their houses, they have like the land around them, so they take care about this. But if you live in big town, you know, you can find some trash sometimes, you know, because maybe people don't really care that much. And in Montenegro they don't have the army of cleaners like we have in Moscow. You know, in Moscow 6 in the morning the army of cleaners go on the street and clean everything, like remove trash and so on. In Montenegro it's not like that, but when you pass the small towns or villages, guys, it looks like from the fairy tales, you know. But Podgorica, Nikšić, for example, the biggest towns of Montenegro, you know, they already don't look as nice. Even though I loved those towns, but you know, yes, small towns looks better. I don't know, it's some magic, you know. And yeah, I've never been in a country before like that. Only Bosnia also the same, you know. Small towns looks nicer, cleaner, like from the fairy tales. Guys, another thing which surprised me as a Russian, I hope someone from Montenegro watching me and could correct me, but I talked with two girls, but they were around my age, you know, some 30 plus like years, and they said they learned Russian in school still. Like 10 years ago, they learned Russian in Montenegro. Well, I understand the older generation learned Russian because of Soviet Union, communism, Yugoslavia, USSR connections, you know. Sometimes you meet Montenegrins who speak very good Russian. They, for example, used to work in USSR, like, you know, or visiting Leningrad, my city, you know, they still call it Leningrad. And but I didn't expect in Montenegro they would still learn Russian already, like 20-30 years after the collapse of the USSR and losing these connections, you know, communism and so on. So guys, you can correct me, but one girl told me they learned English and they also could choose the second language. So it's another thing which shocked me, because in Russia we usually learn just one foreign language, which is English. If we don't talk about the minorities, you know, like in Russia 120 nationalities. So in Russia they learn Russian, minorities Russian, their own language, and English, you know. But Russians like me, we only learn Russian and English, you know. But in Montenegro they learn like 3 languages, yes, Montenegrin, English, and then another 3 languages. It's crazy. And the girl told me she wanted to learn Italian, but they forced her to learn Russian in school. And then when I asked, like, could you choose, like, which language to choose to learn, you know, she said, nah, I didn't have a choice, you know. So she learned Russian even though she didn't like it. But you know, Italian, yeah, language of love, fashionable or something, like emotions. But I feel like for Montenegro, Russian is even more useful than Italian, because in Montenegro crazy amount of Russians, Ukrainians, and like from all of the former Soviet Union people come there. Yeah, so Russian maybe is more useful in Montenegro than Italian. What do you think, guys? But guys, I want to keep my videos kinda honest, you know, so I usually maybe try to say 80% positive things and maybe 20% negative things, because I don't like myself such like YouTubers who come to any country and they're like, oh my god, it's so amazing, oh I love it, like you know, in every country there are like pros and cons, and I think you also would love to hear some honest opinion, you know. Because even in perfect countries there are problems, like, I don't know, as I mentioned before, you know, for example, the West is much richer than Russia or the Balkan countries, you know, but they have like some problems which we don't have that much, you know, for example. And no, you know, in London I've heard like they like use knives, but in Montenegro it's very safe, guys. But if to say about the minuses, like one minus I noticed in Montenegro, even though it's small country, but public transport is not that great, you know. They have like those buses which goes between the towns, between the cities. They are quite good, even though they still charge you for the luggage. I don't understand why. But there is no like good transportation inside the towns. For example, I wanted to go to cable car, it's like just 4 or 5 kilometers, you know, from the town of Kotor. So maybe I could find some bus, but you don't know how. There is no information on Google Maps or something like that. And taxi drivers take from you crazy money, but it depends where. In Nikšić, for example, taxi drivers don't want like crazy money from you, but in Kotor like $15-20 for 4 or 5 kilometers. It's crazy. The minus I noticed, like, it's with dogs. Stray dogs in some cities of Montenegro, it's crazy amount of stray dogs. I'm talking about Nikšić now, for example. So sometimes you really feel dangerous, and one dog even attacked me. It was mama dog, I feel like, because she had no, you know where you get milk from. I'm afraid to pronounce such words on YouTube. Sisa, many sisas, you know. Ты хороший? Ой, it's mama dog. Look, it's mama dog. Блять! Maybe they have kids there. Oh my god, guys, it's like 5 dogs over there. I better leave. It's crazy, I was warned that dogs can be angry here. And you know, sometimes you feel afraid because of the dogs. It's very safe in Montenegro in case of people's crime, you know, but very big amount of dogs in some cities, like Nikšić, for example, you know, and those dogs are not like the kindest. Yes, but in Russia we have the same in some cities. It's crazy. Like I was in Soviet Gavani, I remember Soviet Harbor. It was like packs of dogs, even more, like, you know, 20 dogs in a row, and they often like eat some people. But in Montenegro I see kids don't afraid of the dogs, you know, maybe they are because I'm afraid of them, maybe, you know. Yes, yeah, but dogs, no, yeah, too many dogs in some places, you know. So guys, but one of the things which I couldn't even imagine possible in our modern world, but in Montenegro it's a completely different system of house addresses, you know. It's like in the West, in America, you know, they still use the old British system, like miles, Fahrenheit, like, you know, this like crazy weird stuff. But in Montenegro sometimes they don't have numbers of addresses, you know. It just says like, oh, it's some house of like supermarket called Berezka, for example, you know, supermarket Berezka, or supermarket POLAKO, or like, or house of Mr. Pasulic, without a number of address, you know. And broj, they call it broj. I remember even my taxi driver in Nikšić, he was driving me and saying, no, nema brojs around, no numbers of houses, you know how to find your number.
Алло, поїброй куче твой тут.
And from here, guys, another thing which shocked me, talking about the safety, as I said, Montenegro is very safe country, guys. You won't feel dangerous anytime, you know. Kids walking, like playing on the street until 11 p.m, even 12 p.m. sometimes, you know, alone without parents, like, you know. Yeah, guys, to me, in my childhood, it was a rule, you know, when it gets dark you go home. But here the kids even younger, like, you know, and they still like almost 10 p.m. now, and they still on the street. So it's really very safe here. The only danger here, I think, it's dogs, you know, stray dogs. Guys, it's crazy. It's 11:20 at night and the kids still play on the street. You know, well, in the daytime it's so hot, so maybe they sleep in the daytime. But yeah, it just seems so safe. You see people really like don't afraid for the kids. So, and what shocked me, guys, that in their Yugoslav apartment buildings they have like glass door, like the door, and in up above the door they have like window. Yeah, guys, here is a good example. You see, it's crazy, just windows. And here, well, here they closed it a little bit, but originally it's glass. It's just unimaginable, the level of safety. But still, you see people closing them after some time. Yeah, you see, it's crazy. Windows. You know, so it's like it was so safe in Yugoslav time. Seems like that they didn't even make proper entrance doors in apartments. You know, I'll show you the examples. And in Russia we never had it, like, you know, you would never see it like that. in communist buildings. Usually we even removed Soviet doors and installed some metal doors, you know, and put bars on windows and so on. But there it's crazy. Sometimes people nowadays close these windows, you know, with bricks or something. You see, guys, but what shocks me is that originally they had windows here. You see here, window is closed. You see windows, so it's crazy. It's so safe in Yugoslavia that they had windows in entrances. But you still can find the original doors in Yugoslav apartment commie blocks. It's crazy. It shows how safe it was, you know, and still safe. Maybe dogs only make some dangers. Well, I'm saying it because the dog attacked me, so. Ah, yeah, guys, and also what shocked me, that Montenegro is by some ratings considered to be the tallest people in the world. Yeah, guys, I already see some people are very tall. But you know, if you ask the local Montenegrin Chernogorski lewd person, they'll say like first Montenegro and then everyone else, like Deutsch or someone, you know. Черногорские люди высокие, да. Голландия, вы знаешь, Холланд.
Есть, есть Холланд, Crna Gora. Sad je Holand je bila prva.
Первый, второй.
A sad je Crna Gora prva.
Да. But it's kinda tricky. I didn't find any like proper rating where everywhere Montenegro would be the first. I mean, I found like, for example, one rating where Montenegris people are the tallest, another rating where Bosnian people are the tallest, and then another rating where Netherlands people are the tallest, you know, in the world. But seems like it's unknown how they count. For example, Netherlands now, I noticed in the newest ratings they go down, but maybe because they count all the Netherlands citizens, and as you know, Netherlands like is immigrant country, it's lots of immigrants over there, so maybe with immigrants Netherlands go down in hate, but still Montenegro people, you know, are very tall, you know, and they look like killer machines, you know, but girls look like models. It's really crazy, you know, like. But even though they look like killer machines, you know, they're kinda dobrodošli, and for example, as I mentioned in my previous videos, I had some problem with Russian Gopnik when he got drunk, you know, he wanted to fight with me and with some other guys, but mostly with me. But I can't imagine the situation like some drunk fight in Montenegro, you know, even though some people can drink every day. I lived near some bar, I saw some guy drinking in the bar, every day he was drinking, but he was sitting very POLAKO, relaxed, you know, drinking, so I can't imagine, like, I've never seen, like, very drunk Montenegro person, you know, maybe, even though they can drink every day, you know, so maybe they know how to drink responsibly, or maybe they drink a lot, but slowly, you know, POLAKO, so, or maybe alcohol don't affect them this way. Because as you know, many nations react to alcohol differently. Russians can react this way, even though Russians don't react like the craziest way. You know, I've been to the countries, like some Asian countries, you know, where in some Asian countries they drink and they turn off, but in some Asian countries they like they transform into the Chinggis Khan, you know, like, so you don't joke with them. But in Montenegro, like, people drink a lot, but POLAKO drink, like, you know, even though people look tough and they get emotional, but to imagine like some drunk fight, I can't even imagine it, you know. You really need to provoke or something to have a fight in Montenegro. Drunk fight, I mean. Ah, yeah, guys, and also again in Montenegro are very good roads, you know, maybe you won't agree with me. But I guess the secret of it, you know, I can't say that the roads are the newest, you know, but I think maybe they're made from some different material, because it's not like the simple asphalt we use in Russia, you know, it seems like much tougher material, you know, maybe they add some stones in it. And also, yes, climate plays its roles, you know, in Russia we use spikes on cars, you know, and chemicals in winter, it's like very different weather, you know, so it breaks the roads. But guys, yes, maybe Montenegro doesn't have roads as good roads as in Germany or somewhere, you know, but really it's hard to find any hole. Like even in villages, when you pass the villages, the roads are good. It seems like they were made long time ago and they still serve, but the fact is the fact, you know, the roads are good in Montenegro. In Russia it's not like that. Yes, Moscow, St. Petersburg, like, you know, but if you leave Moscow, St. Petersburg 100 kilometers, 200 kilometers, or like go to some provinces, there won't be any roads at all, you know, or like in the cities very dirty like this, like, you know, because no asphalt at all. But seems like in Montenegro and maybe in Balkans in general, it's like the roads, asphalt roads are in every village, you know, while in Russia it's not like that. So yeah guys, roads are very good. Maybe because I'm from Russia, for me it seems good, you know. If I was like from Germany, for example, maybe it wouldn't be good for me, you know, but still I'm impressed by the quality of roads. Yeah, not even one hole I found in Montenegro. And now guys, let's touch the politics a little bit, guys. The thing which kinda surprised me is dualism of national representation or introduction. I don't even know how to say it, I forgot, but the thing is like that around 45% of population recognize themselves as Montenegrins in Montenegro, while around 30% recognize or introduce themselves as Serbs, you know. And then you have Bosniaks around 9%, Albanians around 5%, other Muslims like 3-4%, no, and so on and so on. Like then Croats 1%, then others 3%, and also 1% gypsies. And but yeah, let's talk about the main nationalities. It's Montenegrins and Serbs, you know. The thing is that sometimes you don't even know how to behave, how to ask the person what is your origin, because, you know, when I was in Herzegovina, I remember first day, you know, I asked some person like, are you, no, Chernogora, are you from here? I meant just like if he is like from here or from another country, you know. And he said like, yes, Chernogora Serb, like, you know, like Montenegrin Serb. But for example, when I was in Kotor, I felt like most of locals recognize themselves as Montenegrins, you know, and they maybe wouldn't like if you confuse them with Serbs, you know. And there are different kind of views on politics over there in Kotor, in mostly, you know. But then when I went deep into the country, like Nikšić, for example, also I noticed it's about half and half, maybe, you know. Some people recognize themselves as Serbs, some as Montenegrins, you know. And sometimes they get jealous a little bit, like, no Montenegro, no Chernogora, Serb, you know. But then you meet people who recognize themselves as Montenegrin, you know, and they have completely different political views. But in general, I feel like, you know, it's the same people, they live in the same same town, same village. They could live, you know, for centuries, their families could live. So it's kind of very interesting, you know. It's maybe only in Montenegro it's like that. So maybe guys you can explain me more in the comments, but I respect all the people, you know, Montenegrins, Serbs, you know. But as I noticed, both of these groups, they are proud to be from Montenegro. If it's Serb, even though sometimes they say no Montenegro, in this way they mean like that they are Serbs, but they're still proud like to be like from Montenegro, you know. Even if they say we are Serbs, they usually say like Crnogora Serbs, you know. No, in my experience, you know. But yeah, still, even in Montenegro, you have this kind of political tensions, even though it seems like people are the same, you know, and same religion, like same, like everything. But yes, guys, don't judge me too much, but I don't want to go too deep into the politics. But yes, I respect everyone. Yeah, and everyone was dobrodošli, but it's just very interesting to mention. I just wonder how it works like that when people can live in one village or town, you know, and one person recognize himself or herself as like this and another like this. Yes, it's very interesting. And also it makes it harder to talk about the language, you know, because I learned a little bit of the how this I got to know people call it наш язык, our language, you know. But still, sometimes people ask me like, how did you learn, for example, Serbian, you know, in Montenegro? But then I say like I was in Bosnia for a month. But in Bosnia they usually, no, if it's Bosniaks, you know, for example, they would say no, it's not Serbian, it's Bosnian. But in Montenegro, some people also call it Montenegrin, and some people call it Serbian. So, you know, you're afraid to kinda to offend people. So I was kinda trying to be very careful with it, you know. Yes. Yeah, guys, and also, despite Montenegro in the season being very expensive, at least for me, you know, especially some cities like Kotor, for example, even though Nikšić was a pretty affordable city, you know, very nice, I loved Nikšić a lot, you know, but гостолюбивость, like level in Montenegro is very high, you know. When you come to some place, like they give you rakia, coffee, and so on and so on. Yeah, guys, another thing which shocked me, guys, as you know, in Balkans portions are huge, usually, you know, maybe 2 times of portions in Russia, you know. But in Montenegro it seems like portions are the biggest, guys, even bigger than in Bosnia or in Serbia, even though in Bosnia and Serbia also portions are very huge. But in Montenegro, guys, sometimes I couldn't finish, you know. Hello guys, look what I ordered, like it's mixed meat portion, it costs 15 euros. But guys, it's for the whole day. I'm pretty sure I won't eat anything in the evening, you know. The portions are crazy. Yes, it's kind of expensive, you know, but in Russia it would be like 3 portions maybe, you know, especially in case of meat. They give you like these crazy pieces of meat sometimes, you know, you can't even finish. Look guys, I bought filet, chicken filet in the local like restaurant. It's just crazy. Look, in Russia if you would buy something like that it would be just like this maybe size, and that's all. But here 1, 2, it's crazy. It's like, look, it's unbelievable. It's for 2 times to eat. And yes, if in Kotor it was kind of expensive because of like its tourist city, you know, and so on. But when I was in Nikšić, in Podgorica, you know, you can eat very affordable for very affordable money, but portions will be very huge. It's just mind blowing. Maybe that's why they are the tallest people in the world. It's crazy. And they also don't get fat, you know, even though this food kinda heavy, you know, a lot of meat but also a lot of bread and so on and so on. So I think it's genetics, you know, that they become very tall. Yes, by the way, fish is not very popular in Montenegro and cost expensive, even though it's like kinda sea nation, you know, they live on the sea. So it's also kind of surprise many Russians, you know, we talked with Russians, wow, why they don't they eat fish that much, you know, because usually people who live on the sea, they eat lots of fish, but no, with Montenegro it's different, they still prefer like this, like piece of like cow meat or like sheep meat or like, it's crazy, yes. Okay guys, that's it, push the like guys, push the like, and до видения, subscribe, goodbye. Предплатите все. Ah, yes, and thanks, super thanks.